The welcome sign hanging in the door at 601 was genuine. People felt invited to pop in and chat and share all the latest news about friends and family. Mom loved it. She loved it when she was on her patio and people were taking walks and people would join on the patio to chat and catch up. Mom had a voracious appetite for people. She loved to talk to people and find out everything that was going on in their lives. It was typical for Mom to come home from some event and relate all the details that she had come to learn about someone that she'd just met. Or you could walk around the neighborhood and she would share stories about the lives of people that were in the houses as we passed by. Mom loved getting to know people and learning about them, and she retained all those details in her mind. And she remembered, so that when she saw you, she would ask how things were going, and she remembered the various things that were happening in your life, and it mattered to her. And Mom corresponded. She was passionate about connecting with people to ensure that they felt remembered and loved. She wrote cards and letters to family and friends on all occasions: birthdays, holidays, weddings, funerals, Valentine's Day, everything. I've been blessed to be the recipient of many, many cards and letters from Mom over the years. The hallmark note on a card typically was kind of over the top and laudatory and flowery, but Mom always added her own remarks in writing that was often indecipherable, but passionately expressed. It was pretty typical when you got a card from Mom, you had to kind of pass it around and say, "What do you think she's saying in this one?" What do you know? So it was a pretty usual exercise. I wanted to share a card that I got from her. She sent me a card last year before Christmas, or before her visit to Pennsylvania, where I live. This one has a bird on it, a partridge in a pear tree, as it turned out. Anybody ever get a card from my mom with a bird on it? She loved cardinals. Particularly, but so this is what she wrote. "It has been such a joy to me looking forward to this special time together with you, with your wonderful family. I am so, underline, single underline, so very, double underline, grateful and fortunate to have your constant love and caring ways and advice. I'm so lucky at this late period of my life to know you are always there for me." Now, I'm sharing this card not because it relates to me, but because I think probably just about everybody in this room has gotten a card like that from my mom. I think there have probably been hundreds or even thousands of people over the course of her 90 years that have received cards like this, have been fortunate to be remembered by her. She's touched on a lot of lives. When Sam fell ill a couple of years ago, Mom dedicated herself to caring for him as he had cared for her throughout her hip and knee operations and throughout the grueling course of treatment she endured for ovarian cancer several years ago. Sam's nearly year-long illness was a difficult one for Ruth and Sam. They were both sustained, however, by the unwavering support and love of family and friends and neighbors. Thank you all for that you provided to Sam and Ruth then, and all that you've done for Mom and our families during her recent illness. So, as her own illness declined, Mom declared, "This is not what I had planned." She had planned to live to be 100, like her grandfather, Oliver Vinger. She no longer sported the blonde hair of which she was so proud, but declared that the most important thing, no matter what, were the people in her life. And she had a sharp mind to the very end, quick to ask you what you were doing and relating the details of other people's lives, so you were caught up. One of the last things that she did before she died was write Christmas cards to every member of the family and to many dear friends. It took her many hours to write out individual messages to everyone with her pained and arthritic hands. It was important to her. She was that caring. She was that passionate and giving. Mom has a saying that hangs in her house that goes like this: count your life by smiles, not tears. Count your age by friends, not years. By this measure, Mom lived a life well beyond 100 years that were lived by her grandfather. Mom also very often said, the best gift you can give yourself is a friend. By that measure, Mom had a bounty of gifts and was blessed with many riches. I have just one more story to share. Among the many visitors to 601 responding to that welcome sign on the door and enjoying the attention from conversation and conversation with Mom have been two young and recent residents to South Burton, 9 and 10 years old, Vanessa Musati and Madeline Stevens. Sometimes they came by the house to sell things like Girl Scout cookies, but generally they came by just to chat and visit with Mom. Vanessa and Madeline, like so many of you, wrote sympathy cards when they heard that Mom had died, to comfort us and communicate with what they held dear about her. I wanted to share one of those cards, this one from Vanessa, and she said it was okay for me to share it. Dear Ruth Willis family and friends, I'm sorry to hear about the death of Ruth. She was my pal, and I loved her. She was caring, kind, happy, and full of smiles and stories. She was always happy and full of love. She was always looking her best. She was always looking her best. Thank you, Mom, for all the happiness that you brought into the world and for your smiles. Thank you for popcorn and hot chocolate after cold nights of skating on the ice rink in the backyard. Thank you for oatmeal cookies for grandchildren, lovingly cooked before each visit. Thank you for tapioca pudding and angel food birthday cakes. Thank you for your exuberance and light. Thank you for being a model to others, a model of being a loving mate, a mother, a friend, a neighbor, and a person. Thank you for all the joy that you brought into the world. Thank you for all the ways that you have of making me and others feel special. Thank you for your steely resolve wrapped around grace and beauty. Thank you, Mom, for your love and caring.